Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. There is no way I am going to leave y'all in 2024 without one final review. If you look at the title below, you already know what we're looking at. We're going back to the Apple Arcade with Sonic Dream Team. Now, this is a game I've been wanting to look at for a very long time, and I finally got around to it while on holiday break. So, without further ado, let's jump into the video. Apple Arcade. I can't believe it's been about 6 years since the service has launched. Time is really flying by. There's always been this subgroup of people who wish Apple would launch a gaming console, and I mean, Microsoft did it and it seemed to work out in their favor for the most part. I mean, you could even say Microsoft was responsible for really pushing the games as a service model with the success of Game Pass. Apple and gaming has always had this interesting relationship in history. They always seem to kind of dabble in gaming here and there, but never fully committed to the idea. But Apple Arcade is their offering, and I must say, there are some gems on there. You know what's crazy? Apple Arcade is actually a multi-platform service. You can play it on your iPhone, you can play it on your iPad, your Apple TV. There's so many different ways you can play Apple Arcade. In this case, just for full transparency, I played Apple Arcade on my iPad, which is an M1 iPad Air that I bought about a couple years ago. So that is my preferred method of going to play a lot of Apple Arcade titles. And what I usually do is I pair my DualSense controller to it, and yeah, that's how we do it. So when Apple Arcade launched, there were some great exclusives on there. I mean, you had Shantae and the Seven Sirens, Sayonara Wild Hearts, and more. Exclusive content. In my opinion, that is what's going to drive users to your platform or service, and that is exactly what Sonic Dream Team did for me. I don't think anyone saw this game coming, but damn did it look good. I remember seeing the initial trailer for this and falling in love with the overall aesthetic. And the dream aspect would mean the devs could play around with all different types of ideas when it comes to level design. The only other Sonic game that we got that year was Sonic Superstars, which I think was a fine game. But let's see if this Apple Arcade exclusive is worth any sort of love. So right out the gate, we are greeted with this amazing opening cinematic, which I absolutely love. And then we're jumping right into the story. Now, the plot for this game is really nothing to write home about. It's fairly simple. Stop Eggman. And I would say this story will align more with games like Sonic Colors and Sonic Lost World with the simplicity of the plot and what's going on. So to me, the plot is pretty easy to follow, and I don't think anyone would have any complaints about the story. However, I do like the new character that this game introduces, REM. This is a nice play on words. Get it? R-E-M, which also stands for rapid eye movement in the world of sleep study and is a state in which most dreams happen. Since this game is based on dreams, I think it's pretty dope conceptually. You know what else is based in dreams? You know what? Never mind. One day, SEGA. One day. So the actual game itself, I recommend playing this game with a controller because this is essentially a 3D Sonic game with full movement. And I need to say, it's very fluent movement. I was very surprised on how well this game controlled, and I had no hiccups in the game. It ran really well. If you played any 3D Sonic games like Adventures or Heroes, you'll feel right at home here, and I'm not sure how well this game would be on a touchscreen, but with a controller, my experience, it was great. Now, one thing I love about this game, unlike the later Sonic games, you can play as Sonic's cast members with their own unique abilities. Sonic and Amy are your speed characters, they are fast and the only characters who can use the Lightspeed Dash. Tails and Cream will specialize in flight, and Knuckles and Rouge can scale walls and also glide. And in the recent update to promote the movie and of course Year Shadow, Shadow the Hedgehog is also playable and has his chaos powers, so super awesome. Now, in terms of gameplay, you will explore multiple zones broken up into many challenges in order to collect these dream orbs. The more orbs you collect, the further you progress throughout the story. Now, I will note, this game is not long at all. You could pretty much complete this game in one afternoon comfortably. And for a game that is aimed at a mobile crowd, I can see why SEGA went in this approach. Many challenges so you can play in short bursts while you're either commuting, waiting in between classes, or just having some downtime in general. Either way, it is a fun game. The challenges and objectives themselves really consist of collecting 3 keys to progress, or reaching a dream orb in a certain amount of time, or collecting 6 dream shards, and so on. For some, the challenges can be somewhat repetitive, but since each of the stages had different aesthetics and design, it kept it fresh for me. Also, I love how the game pretty much forces you to use all the different characters based on what the challenge calls for. Each stage is beautifully designed and I had a blast playing them. I was definitely getting Sonic Lost World vibes for a lot of these levels, but it was awesome. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the review, the presentation is grade A. I absolutely love the character models and the stages are colorful and vibrant. I also love the music, but a Sonic game with bad music, that never happens. The cutscenes mostly consist of still images, but for a game like this, I did not mind it. As far as the difficulty, this game is definitely on the easier side. I didn't have any issues at all. Not to say this game doesn't have any challenge, but if you played and completed other 3D Sonic titles, you're not going to have a problem here. Like I stated, the game is not that long. You can literally complete this game in one sitting and have no issues. There are boss fights, and the final showdown with Eggman is low-key terrifying, but I love how the game makes you switch between different characters in order to complete the fight. In terms of post-game content, there are challenge levels and collectibles. For you completionists out there are things to do. Overall, Sonic Dream Team is definitely a standout title on Apple Arcade, and it's one game I would love to see get more love from the community. I had a blast playing it, and I know you all will as well. Definitely give this game a look, and if you're a fan of 3D Sonic platformers as a whole. Yo, again, I thank you all for tuning into my channel and rocking with your boy. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, drop a comment down below, and let me know what you think. Have you played Sonic Dream Team? If so, what is your thoughts? Are you a fan of Apple Arcade or mobile gaming in general? And if you're an Apple Arcade aficionado, drop some titles down below because I'm very interested to see what other titles they have in store. I mean, I've seen things like for Final Fantasy, Castlevania, so there's no telling. So if you guys like these Apple Arcade reviews, let me know down in the comment section down below. And with that being said, guys, I am out. Happy New Year's. Make sure you all stay safe out there, and let's have a banging and positive 2025. All right? Peace.